Hey everybody, welcome to the Circle Life and Business Show. I'm Tracy, and these are my fabulous co-hosts. We have Lynn, Louise, Heather, and Tammy. And we're super excited to be here with you today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about negative self-talk. So if you remember last week, we talked about, how do we get past those barriers of people, the naysayers, the doubters, the people who are telling us we can't, we shouldn't, you're crazy. How do we get past that? And then we started to think about, that's one thing, but how do we get past ourselves? Because sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I know I can be my own worst enemy. So we're going to talk a little bit today about some of our experiences, and we'd love to hear yours. So please comment freely and jump right in, and here we go. So Tammy, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell us about all the great things you talk to yourself about?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Let's get in your head for just a minute.
Actually,
yes, Andy.
To be honest, I'm in a great place right now. So I've done very well in eliminating the negative talk. I mean, there'll always be some in there. But getting to this point, I went through a huge, many years of, would people really pay me to teach them about Facebook? Am I smart enough to teach them about Facebook? And then I'd be, looking at other social media people and going, oh my God, I can't do what they're doing. I'm not smart enough to do what they're doing. And I was constantly beating myself up, convincing myself that I couldn't do the job, right? So, after I started building a clientele and then people were, recognizing me for it, then I started going, okay, maybe you're onto something. Maybe you do know your stuff, right? So, I still go through some of it. Understanding my own value. I really beat myself up a lot about value and am I worth it? And
you need to charge more.
That conversation.
You guys might think that, but then you might be my only client then. But it's tough, and I think what contributes to it is that we live in a world of negative self-talk.
Yeah.
There's always people putting each other down, telling us we're not good enough, that we can't do this, right? Mm-hmm. So by being surrounded by that, it's so easy for us to adapt it ourselves and go, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I need to get a real job because what I'm doing is not, right?
That real job's interesting.
No.
Yeah. You know what? That's, when you have all those people that are helping you feel negative, because some of it we just have from who knows where, right? Mm-hmm. You're growing up, things you've heard, things you've seen, but then now we're adults, so we should be choosing who we hang out with. Yeah. I mean, social media is one way. It's like block, delete. It's not that hard. But you have to do it. Sometimes it's awkward.
You have to do it in real life.
You have to do it in real life too.
That's most important, because you find that. I mean, with me, as I grew my business, I have the blinders on and I'm just going, and I know what I want to attain and where I want to go. And sometimes, you have that where you're like, oh, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? I don't have a university degree. How am I going to get there when, there are so many obstacles as you're building your own business. And then there's so many people that just want to suck from that too.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to identify that, because you're like, oh, my friends, oh my gosh, they're so nice, right? And to be able to see that some people aren't really your friends, and those people are like, well, you know what, yeah, you're doing a great job, social media, okay, so you teach Facebook, oh, that's cute. You know what I mean? Like, instead of validating you, you need those people to validate you and say, hey, you're amazing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. You have to, and you know what? It's a process you have to do every so many years. It's that cleansing, and it's the cleansing of who you're surrounding yourself with.
Sometimes it's tough.
Right? It is.
Sometimes it's family.
It is.
Sometimes it's, and that's tough.
For sure.
And sometimes when you're doing that, like I know myself, cleansing friends is something that I do often, especially on Facebook, because, at this age, I feel like we know who our friends are. However, we're adding people all the time and building relationships on various social media platforms. And something that I incorporate into almost daily is looking through there and people that aren't engaging with me, that aren't, developing those relationships, or who are negative. Like I don't want to log on to any of my social media sites and have to deal with any negativity, right? Like,
No.
like who wants to, right? Like people absorb that energy, and I know I do,
But
right?
it's interesting because that creates. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't want to see that negative stuff either. But then we talk about how people portray this perfect world, this perfect life, right, on social media. But I think, and I have fun pictures of me and my chickens. I was like, 5 minutes earlier, I was shoveling there anyway. I'm not posting that. So we have this. Then we have that. Then our minds go to work on my life's not as good as theirs. How come they're having all this success? They're having more fun than I am.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. What am I
How
doing
can I
wrong?
be like them? Instead of just saying, how can I be me?
Yeah.
Or how can I be better than I was yesterday? Like what
Yeah.
little thing can I do to be a little bit better than I was yesterday, right?
So
I
true.
mean, that's just it. You know, we're ourselves, and
I think it's
like it or love it.
it's very important to realize that the perception is not reality.
That's
I think
Yeah.
that's the number one thing. And let's say 5 years ago, I was thinner and I was younger and I portrayed that I was super successful and happy and I was doing very well numbers wise in my business and industry. But I wasn't happy like I am now. Now at almost 45, life's changed. I'm happy. I can embrace that, and I can also almost filter. I'm giving people the truth, but not everything always. It's not like I'm posting every day. Look at I cooked dinner, and look at I did this, which was Facebook before,
Right.
right? I mean, now we've all grown with it, and it's an old people thing, I'm told.
We're old.
Well,
Back that up.
Sorry. Well, my children don't use it, so and I have a lot of them. And I was going to say, for my younger demographic, my target market, I work on Instagram, and things like that.
Yeah.
So no, but really, I mean, at first you see, and you're like, wow, look at how on earth do these people keep it together? And I mean, even when I first met you, it was online. I was like, her hair is always so great every day.
Every day.
Right?
I still say that every
Right?
day.
And it's still really actually in real life.
It's
It really is.
It's just maybe long, but seriously, but that's the thing. Sometimes, you don't look like that. And maybe you don't want to post about it because then you start the negative self-talk. Like, what are they going to say if they see me with, looking this way, shoveling the chicken,
I remember writing my first blog, and when I hit send, like I had this overwhelming, that feeling of, what do they want to hear from me for? Like, who's going to read this? And what are they going to think when they read it? And that's the kind of, because it was new to me. I'd never put myself out there. When you asked me to do this, I'm like, oh God, what am I going to wear? What if I have a bad hair day? Like, what a mess. So, but it's how do you overcome that? How do you go shut yourself up and get on with it?
Carolyn Dunlop. I just thought that about her hair too.
See, that's the only reason I'm on the show. Just for the hair, so I better keep it up.
But what is scary is this whole social media world that we now live in. And the reality is it's only going to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the perception that people put out there that their life is so perfect. So it's no wonder we have the amount of negative self-talk that we have, because we see it come through our news feed and say, oh, I wish my life was like hers, right? And you start to criticize where you're sitting and what you're doing and how do you move forward, right? And it's tough.
But it's everything. I mean, when I think about when I was a kid versus now, everything, you could be comparing everything. Everybody's got perfect eyebrows.
Oh, for the love of God.
Perfect
I have my
skin.
own eyebrows and my own eyelashes. That is one thing that I'm telling you. Oh, never mind.
So, 12-year-olds are getting manicures. It is brown hair. 12-year-olds are getting manicures. So, we weren't doing that. We might have polishing our own nails and we love baby soft, whatever. And now everybody has designer. Houses are perfect. It's like, I blame Martha Stewart for that. I think she made us all think we had to be perfect.
Yeah, we had our TVs.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because Mackenzie, one of the things that's come up is that, she says, we can't always get what we want because we can't afford it financially. And then she starts comparing herself to her friends
Yeah.
who do get everything that they want.
Right.
Whether
And,
they can
you know,
afford it or not.
whether they can
That's
afford it or
yeah,
not.
right.
So she's got this perception that I'm like, wait, whoa. It's not about whether we can afford it or not. It's about whether you actually need it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about getting it because everybody else has it. Now, I've taught her quite well. If you ask her, I mean, she's all about sales for shopping. She knows now she can get more pieces for the same price. But, you know, she beats herself up that way, thinking we're not where we need to be financially because she can't have everything she wants.
Yeah.
You know, and that's negative self-talk that she's putting into herself
Mhm.
instead of going, you know, believing that you get what you work for. You don't just get
That's
it.
right.
You have to work to get it.
Mhm.
So some kids are more fortunate where mom is and mom and dad are just going to give them whatever they want. That's the reality.
I don't think
know
it's
if that makes
fortunate.
it fortunate.
Yeah.
I think so. I was gonna say, I don't believe that, I'm just saying, as far as negative self-talk, I think that as much as that encompasses all of our lives, especially for our daughters.
Yeah.
Right? And our sons. But I was saying, in my case, I have the 4 girls, and I know that of course they're gonna compare themselves to the other kids, and they have the Uggs and the Hunters and this and that, and just not too long ago, we were not in a position to have those things. And one of my girls had a really hard time with that, really low self-esteem, really struggling. And I think it is, things like this are so important, so you can have that conversation around the dinner table tonight. Like, hey, I watched the show with these ladies, and I think at our age, we're starting to come out of that.
Yeah.
Right? Where I'm like, you know what? Do I see myself as not perfect? Absolutely. You know, do I have things I don't like about myself? Yes, but we're not going to highlight those anymore.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
We're going to take that, we're going to say,
Right.
okay, you know what? Right? Because I was thin. I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? Or thinner. I was just saying, that, right? But things like that. I mean, and weight and appearance and all these things, they do tie into your self-esteem, especially in what I do. My picture is on my business card. And people will say to me now, oh, that's an older card, eh? And I'm in the process of changing them. However, I'll be like, you know what? I mean, it is what it is, but it's still me. It's still the same service provider. It's just, I mean, I've gotten older, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten wiser. And I realized that picture doesn't really matter, you know?
Right.
But it's funny because in the last, say, 3-4 months, I've had people actually say to me, oh, you put some weight on.
Who does that?
Well, exactly.
I
And then, but all of a sudden, I'm like at home, naked in front of my mirror going,
Boy.
oh my
And
God.
this TV show is
Right.
okay.
But all of a sudden, I start getting
Show for another day.
But mentally, I start taking that in and thinking, now what am I going to do to change that? Well, wait a minute.
Maybe you're not going to change
Why
it.
do I need to change it? I look pretty damn good.
But it doesn't even matter.
But that I should be okay with how I feel, and if I don't, then I make the decision to make changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I
Right?
think that's the key too. When we start seeing those messages, we see those perfect worlds. Like, how do we help, like, you know, our daughters, our sons, ourselves look at that as, if that's something I really want, how do I get it? Turn it into motivation. Like, you know what, I can do that. That can happen for me too. How do I want to do that? You know?
Or even how can I be different than the person beside me?
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, beating myself up because I don't look like her,
Right.
in essence, or I'm not successful like her, what can I do for myself to change that?
Yes. Because I always
Right?
look at that when we would start to compare ourselves to other people, it might not be that exact thing, but something's missing for us if we're looking
Yeah.
at something.
Yeah,
If we're
for
looking at other
sure,
people
for
going,
sure.
oh, I don't have that, I don't have this. Then we've got something inside that's missing. So how do you figure out what it is that you personally need to be fulfilled and confident
And
have
stop
that good
focusing on
conversation?
how everybody else is living their lives and they're running their business. You can learn from them, you know, for all the business owners watching, I mean, you can learn from us. You know, you can learn from how many different business owners out there and figure out what works best for you and embrace that. You don't have to duplicate and say, well, I have to do what she's doing or I can't be successful. We're all successful at our own, what's the word I'm looking for? Like at our own rate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? We all took different steps, did different things to take us where we're at.
Maybe there's
Yeah.
some definition of success changes.
Exactly.
Because for me, I wanted to be the best. I want to be the best. I want to be number one. I want to be number one. And I worked so hard. And then as life has changed the past year and a bit, I'm like, maybe I don't want to be there. Maybe I want to travel. Maybe I want to be with my children. Maybe I just need enough where my clients are very well serviced. Everybody's happy, but I don't need it all. I'm not willing anymore to give up my children and my life to get there. And I think those things, as you evolve, and again, with the negative, you're like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. So you need those awards or the recognition or whatever to say, oh, hang on, I am. I'm like, look, I got this, right? And it validates you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, at this point now, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But my number one award on my wall in my office, when you walk in my office and there's awards and there's, all these things, it says number one mom. And it's framed right along with everything else. And I'm like, you know what? If I've done nothing else, right? That's the only thing I really need to do in life is get that right.
It's funny that you brought up awards, and Heather will know about this conversation, but I was beating myself up the other day because I was nominated for another business award.
Yeah.
This is my 9th nomination. 9th, but I've never won.
But you're nominated.
Right, I understand that, right? Exactly.
That's amazing.
That alone. But I did beat myself up and said to myself, why can't you win? Like, why did I do that to myself?
Yeah.
I had lunch with all the other nominees that particular day, and as soon as lunch was done, I'd already said who was winning. Because I'm listening to these women going, like, I was in awe. I was totally in awe of their accomplishments, where they've been at, their journeys and stuff, and they thoroughly deserved it, without a doubt. But I still turned around and beat it.
No.
What word do I use? See, I beat myself up.
Yes.
But it's past tense.
Yep.
Still, okay. That's why but anyways, but I still went through that. I took what should have been a positive and turned it into a negative in my own mind.
Yes.
Right?
Has it happened yet?
What?
Has the awards ceremony happened yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have fun?
Oh, I know. I had a fantastic time.
You had fun.
I
You got to hang
know.
out with those women. Those women are your friends, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
I
incredible?
know.
Yeah.
But that's
just
what
how
we
you have to
do.
change your
It's
mind,
what we,
I think people need to understand. I think people need to understand that it is actually a normal thing to do.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it becomes a problem when it evolves into something bigger, where it's all the time, where we're struggling with, like, people get into depression. And, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter how successful you are. You still get those little voices every now and again, and it's normal. I mean, it's normal.
And I don't know that I want them to go away entirely.
No, because I don't.
It's probably what pushes us.
Yeah, sure.
You just have to make sure you don't allow it
You don't
to.
believe it.
Right.
You don't
Right.
believe that that's who you are and what you've become.
Yeah.
It's this is what I can change. This is what I can affect.
Like, it doesn't keep you stuck,
Right.
right?
And that's
It
a good
has to push
example.
you
'Cause-
out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I think about like times when I felt stuck, like when I felt
Yeah.
I'll see the pitchfork.
I wonder where those flights come from. Didn't know
I
it.
have to wear a jacket when I sit beside her.
When I think about being stuck, like I think about when I was in my career and I felt like, oh, I'm married to this career, I can't move because I have these obligations and I built this lifestyle around this career. It was that constant, oh, you're stuck, this isn't where you want to be, that got me out.
Right.
So if you can use it, if you can
Little
turn around
compass.
and use it
Yeah.
to spur you on, that's great. But when you start believing it, when you start looking in the mirror and going, oh, I'm garbage, then then you got to figure out how do you get out of that.
Yeah.
What about, like, actionable steps? Like, do you
I got one.
Okay, great, because
I got
there are things that you can do.
Well, okay, this might seem so basic, 'cause everybody's heard of this, your gratitude stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I was, don't make it quick, because I know we gotta wrap it up now, I think. When I was 21, I think, I had a situation in my life where I was actually stalked.
Wow.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows. I know. Not everybody knows the story. We'll tell this story another time. I haven't really revealed it, but needless to say, I had about a year of fear. Literal, could not leave my house to go anywhere. The person was following me, and he went to jail. So anyway, I was in a really negative place about what did I do to bring this on? How can I get rid of it? Am I going to live? Am I going to survive? What are people going to think? And I somehow came across this gratitude journal. I think it was called Simple Abundance. It might have been from Oprah way back. And I started writing down every day the positive things like I was grateful for. in my life, but also about myself.
That's a great
And it was like, just, you don't have to have a special journal, just any little thing at the side of your bed at night before you go to bed, 5 of them. And I'm telling you, within a month or two, it changed my mindset that I could actually leave the house and go, if something happens to me, it happens. Worrying about it isn't going to matter. And I got all these good things. So let's leave it on a downer because I'm fine. I'm glad I survived.
A lot of
Yeah.
people those like also those I am statements.
Yeah.
I
It's so
am
strong. You can even pin them
Powerful.
out on your fridge
Or
or where you are.
Or reach out to Perdita and get her right to empowerment pencils.
Yes,
Because they're all, I am loved, I am
Yes.
strong,
Yes.
right? And that way
You
you're
got
you're writing the
infuse
statement.
your world with
It's
positive,
reprogramming.
or else
Reprogramming.
you're going to get sucked into the next
For
one.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
vision
Sure.
boards.
Words are great, because then if there's something you're not happy with, put what would make you happy.
Yeah,
What
don't,
are
I
those
would say,
things
I'm
you
not
want?
one to do gratitude journaling or anything. I think of all those kids I have over that time. I haven't even filled out the field trip forms, I
get
said, my vision board, I'm like, okay, just keep the blinders on. And even inside of what I do, I have blocked people, not because I don't like them, just because I don't want any interference, Put that vision board, keep it up, keep your focus positive. I am going to do this every day, and that's it. And you're going to get dressed, you're going to do your hair, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm doing this. And every step you take, is a step against that negative self-talk, right?
And it's even cleaning it out on social media. Go through the steps of unfollowing people. You don't have to unfriend them, right? So you don't, because that's why a lot of people don't do it.
Right.
It's that stigma that they're gonna know I unfriended them.
Right.
So instead, you can unfollow them, get rid of the negativity that's coming through your news feed, start following people that are positive and motivating, inspiring. That's
Like
what
Heather.
you're seeing exactly.
Good morning, Heather.
Good
morning.
and that lifts you up. And Antonetta, who's and anyone knows her, I think she's lost 110 pounds.
Mhm.
Every morning, no matter the weather, she goes out for a 5K run. No matter what. The blizzards, she went through it all. But she posts about it every day, and it's always an inspiring post.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the girl that I'm following going, my God, like, yeah, okay. Right? So it's just really cool. So it's even that, and maybe getting rid of some friends that you don't want to be around every single day.
Or just
right?
encouraging your friends to post more positive.
Yeah.
How about trying to be helpful? How about trying to be productive members of society?
Oh, it's positive over here.
Sorry, I'm like, you know what? I mean, if you're upset, call me. If you're upset, call me. Hey, Louise, I need to come for coffee. Don't tell 1,000 of your closest friends, I mean, maybe. Or get a chicken, or a horse. Right, and a hot tub. I'm telling you.
Just so you guys know,
It is true.
we are going to film with the horses and the chickens
Yeah.
today, so you guys can
Put
experience
the
it
chicken
along.
right here on the table.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna need an outfit change that day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, ladies, it's been a wonderful coffee.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Monday
joining.
You all are wonderful.
Cheers. And Lynn's gonna get up there and turn this off for us,
Oh,
right?
there she goes.
Oh,